Is Toyotaro trying to be Dragon Ball Kakumi? What is this? So at first, I'm happy to report that the God Key angle that the leaks were kind of hinting at doesn't seem to be overly pushed like they did back then, because in this one, Goten and Trunks just seem to have a hard time locating Piccolo and mixing him up with Dende, and to me, that just means that not only are they rusty, but they think that the two Namekian signals, like key signatures from Earth, feel the same, or at least are mixing them up together. Like, not all Namekians are the same, guys, come on. But I already know some of you guys are gonna be, well, Piccolo just transformed and Dende is technically like a god, but until I see this confirmed, I'm not gonna be assuming it. So it is clear early on that the Namekian, the orange Namekian form, the orange Piccolo form, is leagues stronger than the Super Saiyan Blue level, because at this point in time, Gamma 2 is attacking Piccolo and having zero effect on him, like completely. It's like Krillin attacking Cell, nothing is happening, and then Piccolo literally one-shots him. So it is clear really early on right here that Orange Piccolo, his strength is stronger than Super Saiyan Blue. Pan even gets her time to shine, similar to the movie, and I mean, like, this dude right here, like, he needs to be arrested. He needs to be put into chains. He's literally shooting at a child with a pistol. Like, this dude is the real villain of this movie. And why this is so important is that Gamma 2 actually realizes that, you know, trying to off a kid is like bad people behavior. Like, he kind of snaps out of it here and realizes that he's working for the wrong organization. Like, they're trying to like kill a child. And with this, literally the fight is over between Gohan and Gamma 1, Piccolo and Gamma 2, and I mean, Pan puts down the rest of the guards. So like, the movie technically without Cell Max could have ended here. If somebody would have gone really fast to take this guy out right here, then yeah, it would have been over. Like, this movie would have been really short and sweet. You change, Magenta actually ends up shooting Dr. Hito when they're in these little bumper cars, this roller coaster thing, and he thinks he actually kills him. So on top of getting shot, he actually falls from an incredible height for a human. So yeah, I would assume that he's dead also, but he is not, because he had a suit around his body that is like basically indestructible, which again, this type of technology would benefit Earthlings, humanity, and could make Earth like the next Universe 11 Pride Trooper planet. Another change, but it's slightly different, is that the Magenta change into his outfit. Like, he's got like a very similar outfit, like some sort of cybernetic outfit. He actually has to get dressed into it before Dr. Hito shoots him. So Dr. Hito kind of letting him change here, I guess it's to signify that Dr. Hito isn't really like that much of a bad guy. Like, he's not just gonna shoot this guy in the back because he can. He's gonna wait for him to pose a threat, which he ultimately does with this suit. But it's the same exact outcome. Like, this little android, B android, ends up stinging him, and basically he ends up dying a horrible, slow, painful death in a very similar way from like old DBZ. It didn't really happen like this in the movie because the movie is less graphic than this. This is pretty graphic when it comes to him dying, and in his last moments of death, he ends up destroying the control panel and releasing Cell Max. The entire Z Squad finally gets there, besides obviously Goku and Vegeta, and even Android 18 like kind of is interested in the new androids, which I don't know, I feel like they have like the most in common. So if this goes on into the future with the Gamma, or at least the remaining Gamma is part of the team, I'm hoping that he is close to Android 17 and 18 at some level, because they are all androids, they're the same. Also big W, because we get this Gohan face that looks extremely sarcastic. I feel like this is the like new version of this face that Goku makes, but it is in canon that he's got bad eyesight without the transformations. So when he goes back to base, his eyesight gets weakened, which I feel like that would happen to me. I wear glasses, so I feel like if I would transform, my eyesight would get better. But once I go back, it's not like I'm Spider-Man, like where my eyesight would get better right off the rip. I think that I would have to transform for my eyesight to be good. It wouldn't just be permanently good in base. Cell Max awakens, and this is a very memorable part of not only the DBS superhero movie, but like the trailers for the movie. When they finally showed Cell Max, like him screaming like this is very iconic for this character. And I know it's kind of weird saying iconic, but but I mean, it is like, what other characters in Dragon Ball besides DBZ Broly are screaming like this? But like, look at the amount of detail that is going into this, just this panel alone. Like, Toyotaro snapped when this came out. Like, he absolutely went off the rails, because this looks like it came straight out of Dragon Ball Kakumi, the fan manga, because it's got that much detail. I would want to see more of this. I have to praise this wholeheartedly. That's why I'm taking this time in this video to praise this, because this is just so incredibly well made. He looks so freaking cool. I love the design. I love the intensity in it, and I just want to see more of this level of quality. The fact that we got only a little bit of this in the entirety of the Dragon Ball Super, at least this arc, is honestly, it just sucks. But I want more of this, so I want to promote how awesome this looks, because this actually looks really boss. It looks just so fucking phenomenal, and I want to see more of it. The same events happen from the movie, where Cell Max destroys the ship that Dr. Hito was on, or at least it looks like he died. So both Gammas are now attacking Cell Max, but it is clear here, as I stated earlier, that Cell Max, as Gohan put it at the end of the movie, like, Goku and Vegeta would have a hard time with him, because they are the two Gammas supposedly Super Saiyan Blue level. Doesn't mean they have the same abilities or whatever power-ups, just type of quality to them or ability to get stronger. No, it's just like their base power level is around that same level, and so they really don't do anything to Cell Max like whatsoever. Like, they're literally just kind of bouncing off of him. And now that I've seen like the Cell Max in the manga, I actually like am fucking with this design a little bit more, especially the tail. It looks really cool, and I know I want a more complete Cell Max, but this is not so bad. So here is the biggest change, and I believe this is about to be like a filler portion of this manga, or this chapter. I mean, this arc, as more specifically, because after Gohan drops the Senzu Bean, Goten and Trunks decide to take the lead, and they want to fight Cell Max. So they want to fight Cell Max because they are quote-unquote superheroes. And going back to the prequel arc, like, we're finally getting, I guess, that paid off, where they're superheroes. And this would be far more interesting if they were facing off against the Gammas, because the Gammas are Super Saiyan Blue level, so it wouldn't have been close, but at least there are two of them. There are two heroes here. It would make sense, kind of, and we would kind of see how much stronger the Gammas are, because fighting against Gohan and Piccolo is more of an equal fight, so it would have been cool to see like less of that. But having both of these guys face off against the Gammas, yeah, I don't know. Unless they both fuse right here into one solid being, and it's one solid superhero being, then they could have, at Super Saiyan 3 level, they could have a shot. Similar to the movie where Gotenks is the one that cracks, like, after he is fusing correctly, he cracks the dome of Cell Max. We could be getting something along those lines, but far more badass, where they actually fuse into a hero that is Gotenks, but with the same or similar costumes, although he should still have the Fusion Dance outfit, I guess, because it's not like earrings. So I don't know. I think that that's the direction they're going with, because by themselves, these guys are Super Saiyan 2 at best by themselves, and they're rusty enough not to know the difference between Namekians, so they're not going to do shit to Cell Max. They may be able to assist the Gammas a little bit. I don't know. It seems like almost, if they don't fuse, it seems like it would be a filler chapter to just prolong this arc. But we are getting to the end, guys, and we should be getting some news as to what the next arc is in the next coming months. But let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. To me, I give this chapter a 7 out of 10. It's slightly better than the movie, but it's still not what I want to see in the manga.
Prepare yourself.